Hello geeks and gamers, Matt Lemke here with True Gamer Goggles, and today we have another box breaking. As with all of our box breakings, we have never seen the insides of this box unless I tell you that, which I have not yet seen the insides of this box. I have an idea of what's in it because I have an idea of what's in the Bestiary 2, but oh my gosh, the plastic's being stubborn. In today's box breaking is on the Pathfinder Pawns Bestiary Box 2, which you probably already figured out. So, as with all of them, it's kind of a one-shot, one deal. You either get it right or you make mistakes. So bear with me. Obviously, it's going to come with bases for the various creatures that are in the box, and it's going to come with all different pawns. So we're going to go ahead and we're not going to waste too much of your time. Oh yeah, and the other reason why you kind of know what's in the box is there's a complete list on the back. And they're in there pretty tight, apparently. They don't want to come out. There we go. All of them came out. We'll zoom in real quick so you can get a look at the list, which, I mean, you can do this at any of your stores that you can purchase your Pathfinder at. So we're going to go ahead and set that aside real quick. We're going to flip this over and we're going to kind of take a look and a gander. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. I'm just going to kind of move through. You have pretty decent art, as you can see by the different creatures that are in here. Some of these are really, really cool. Like I like this picture here, actually. I've got a thing for fire, so I like the Azers also, or the Azer. Giant bees, that's kind of cool. And then on the back side, it's the same pictures, obviously, as you can tell. And then for one of the larger base creatures, I never could pronounce this right. Akerai. Yeah, I probably butchered that, and I hope you guys attack me in my feedback for it. There's a good picture of it. And on the second one, you've got the Dizirak. You know what? I'm going to shed some more light on this real quick because I had glare from before. There, that makes it a lot better for you, doesn't it? Low budget, people. I'm low budget. I'm low budget all the way. Now, I'm going to admit that from the way I remember it, some of these are really dark, and the pictures don't do the same kind of justice. Like, this is a good picture. You can really pull on the purple, and you can see, you know, that the Decapus has some color to it. Whereas a lot of the monsters in this set seem to be kind of dark. Like, this is a dark, shadowy figure. And I think the art doesn't necessarily do justice to the creature. There is... Now, here's one. The Fetchling. It's a dark creature, but it has enough gray and white tones to it that it is an improvement. And then we have the Aeon Bythos, which is the bigger one on this one. And again, if you flip it over, you can see that it's just the reverse of... Oh, look at that. Young Magma Dragon. Another Fetchling, and that is interesting. Giant fly, giant maggot. And, you know, we're just going to keep moving through because, well, there's a golem, carrion golem for you. Herd animal, hound of Tindalos. The Ifrit. I'm going to try and move slow enough that I don't blur these too much. And the big one on this one is the Aeon Pleroma. I like that picture. Kind of looks like a quasar. Oh, I've never seen this guy before. I'm going to have to look him up now. We have 3 Mongrelmen, Giant Mosquito, Mothman, And then we have Nereid, Ogrekin, Dread, a Poltergeist, which is, I think, a pretty good picture for a Poltergeist. Rast, Stingray, Revenant, Sandman, Scarecrow, Agathian Draconal. That's a pretty cool picture. I kind of like to see him without the robes. Then we have Serpent Folk. See, the colors are coming back again. Sin Spawn. Was about just a hair, so we can get like one row at a time, or almost a row at a time. And I'll point to some of these that, like, I appreciate the images of. Here's a Sliff. I'm sorry, a Sylph. That's my dyslexia coming out. Triton. We have an Amphis Bane. Ooh, look. It's a double-headed snake. Some of these creatures are creatures I've never really used or had to fight in any of my role-playing adventures. Now the next one is almost all larger. This would be what I would call the 40 or a 30 millimeter base. And you've got an Archon Shield, Archon Star, a Mobat, Bat Skivling. You have the Belker, Catablius, Daemon, Daemon Osterdaemon. You have a Custo Daemon, a Dergo Daemon, lots of daemons. I'm not going to name them all. Cool looking Deathworm. Then we move into the demons. There's a whole bunch of demons. Again, the art's pretty good. And then you have some devils. Next row down, Devilfish, Dragon Horse. That's pretty interesting. An adult dragon, another adult dragon, Magma adult dragon. Then down on the bottom half, you've got drakes. You've got the Frost Drake in two different forms. Flame Drake, the Umbral Drake, and a Cloud Dragon. Sea Drake, Dust Diggers, Elementals, some Giants, some Golems, a Gray Render, Gug, Hellcat, Camel, Hippogriffs, Hippopotamus, getting ready to chomp down on you. Howler, which I like these guys. Lamayas, Inevitable Zellicut, Inevitable Marut, another Howler. I'm just going to turn this now because we're into lots of these. Ooh, look at that, Magma Ooze. I think they did a good job with that. Again, you know, I'm a miniatures guy, but I'm starting to appreciate these as I get back into role-playing. I've been a miniatures player for the last 10 or 15 years primarily. Here's a Marrow. This saves me a lot of time as a mini guy, and it saves me a lot of money. I own probably 2,000 or 3,000 minis, and they're not all painted. So I have come to appreciate this in our games when my players want visual representations that I haven't been able to take the time to paint or assemble the model on. These save a lot of time. Still, I mean, you know, for what it's worth, there is something to be said about having the miniature painted on the table and to have put all your own effort into it. But, you know, for example, I'm not the world's greatest painter, so if I was to try and paint this ancient crystal dragon, this for me, to get a look, I mean, this is two-dimensional, and you don't get the same look that you would get on a model, but there's still a lot of color in here and depth in things. This would probably be 100 hours to 200 hours, and I wouldn't even come close to this quality in a paint job probably. It would look cooler because it's three-dimensional and it's, you know, not stuck on a board, but you know, it's about time sometimes. And here's an ancient dragon, and then we're into some of the smaller based creatures. I'm going to zoom in here real quick so you can see some of these. And we're going to move it up. Oh. It looks like an undead dog. And we'll keep it zoomed in, and we'll go to the next one, and we'll start off with the smaller ones. You have a Dark Slayer, another Devil, a small Ice Elemental, some more Elementals, Grindy Glow, Gripply. And we're going to keep it zoomed in, and we'll come back to the big ones. Kored, Leprechaun, Lurker. You know, I don't even remember how much this cost because I bought this a little bit ago. Or anything like that. Ooh. We have the Witch Weirds, which are pretty cool. And then on the next one we have Giant Tick. I think this is... Hold on a second. I'll look on the back of the box real quick because I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, this is $39.99 and you get 250 different named creatures, many of which have repeats. You know, so if you do the math, it's a lot cheaper than buying miniatures. I mean, on average, miniatures cost pre-painted or before being painted. Well, of course, there's the pre-painted minis that you can get Pathfinder Battles from, which are they're really amazing. They've come a long way, and you can find other pre-painted minis at some places. But if you were going to buy In Reaper Bones now is pretty cheap too, but or I should say inexpensive, because their minis are pretty high quality. But if you were to buy pewter and other plastic resin models, you could pay as much as $20 a mini. Now we're going to zoom out here just enough to get to the bigger photos for you to get a good look at. We have the Nightshades on this one, which I absolutely love this picture. I think that's my favorite creature out of this whole pawn kit so far. And then you have the Quickwood, and oh wow, that's not what I thought that was at first. That's a Scalia. I enunciated that wrong, I'm sure. And we have the Hangman Tree, which I've never had the luxury of dealing with. Another cool looking one is the Lang Spider, which, man, that is a massive spider. I would not want to deal with it. We have the Ancient Magma Dragon. We have a Frostworm, which kind of looks friendly-ish. We have another Giant. We have a Mithril Golem, which I've never had the luxury of dealing with either, which kind of would be cool, maybe. We have Shantak, Tendriclus, I'm just going to call him Thrasher, because he's Thrasfir. We have a Water Worm, and Vemerick, or Vemerac, depending on how you wish to say it. And well, there you have it. You've got about, I don't know how many creatures exactly, but that is your contents of the Bestiary Pawns Box 2. which figures out probably to be a very inexpensive way to add to your collection. What I'm uncertain of is whether or not these pawns are available as miniatures or not in Pathfinder Battles. I have to do some research on that because that might change my decision in the future. I picked it up because I know that in the near future I'm going to need a whole bunch of these for my Pathfinder game. And it was recommended to me by a couple of my buddies. But this way you can also take a look at what's inside. I'm glad that you watched the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, or if you have any ideas on how to make a presentation like this better, let me know, because this isn't the easiest thing to just open up and explore with you. Thanks for watching. If you want to follow our videos in the future and you're watching this on our blog, you can click on any of the social media links on the right hand side of the screen. And we have to thank Paizo for making Pathfinder and keeping up the good work they've been doing for the last 10 years. Have a good day.